YouTubers, Pastor Bob. Well, I hope you guys are all having a blessed week. This presidential election didn't quite go like we thought it would. But anyway, listen, I was watching an interview with Mark Taylor. He was on 5 and 10 with Daryl Gilbert. And he was saying that you can't go by any of this. He said it's all fraud. It's all going to be detected. I mean, we're coming out right now where they're having hundreds and hundreds of thousands of more voters in all these states than what they had registered voters. So it's pretty easy to see that it's all fraudulent. And they're going to get into this, all the fraud. And I think that Donald Trump is probably going to come out on top. Let's hope. So anyway, listen. I was reading through the Psalms last week, and I discovered a few nuggets that I wanted to go over with you. And the first one is found in Psalms 106, 34 to 38. This is what it says. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen, and learned their works. And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. Yeah, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. So what he's talking about here is God gave the Israelites specific instructions. When you go into the promised land, I want you to wipe out these tribes right here. And the tribes that they were supposed to wipe out, there were all the men, all the women, and all the children God told them to wipe out. Those were all Nephilim tribes with tainted blood. So what I want to talk to you about is symptoms. Symptoms. You know, the definition of the word symptoms is a physical or mental feature which is regarded as indicating a condition of a disease, particularly that is apparent to the patient. So like when you have symptoms, you don't know why you have them, but you know something's wrong. So the Psalm is speaking of Israel in 1405 BC. But when you read this, you could think that he's speaking about America in 2020. Let's look at the parallels. Verse 35, but they were mingled among the heathen, and they learned their works. In other words, when the Israelis went into the promised land, all the people, they just intermingled with them and learned all their ways. And you know what? Most churches in America are like that today. We're lukewarm at best. Most churches in America are worldly. Verse 36 says they served their idols. America is a land full of idols. We have Hollywood, where we even have shows called American Idol. We have music, we have sports figures. They're all into self. And when these people speak, people accept it as if the gods have spoken. And people could care less that most of these people, most of these elites, most of these actors and sports figures, these people are absolute, for the most part, not all, but they are absolute moral degenerates. And that's the heroes in our nation. Verse 37 says, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils. Modern day abortion at the altar of Planned Parenthood is the exact same thing. Margaret Sanger's goal when she founded Planned Parenthood was to execute blacks and Hispanics and all other substandard races. But yet you don't see anybody down there, anybody except Christians, saying anything about that. No one's down there protesting. So verse 38 says their land was polluted with blood. People in America, we have the blood of about 55,000 unborn children that pollute our land. We also have in the city streets of America every night, we have drug wars going on, and young men are getting shot, women, children, innocent people in the war on drugs every night in every city in America. Our land is completely polluted with blood. So listen, let's get back to that word symptoms. Symptoms. Symptoms are a physical or mental feature that is regarded as indicating a condition or a disease. People, listen. America has a disease. And what we're treating is the symptoms. We have the symptom of abortion. We have the symptom of murder. We have the symptom of idol worship. We have all these symptoms, and no one is talking about the cause. The cause is that we kicked God out of America. We asked him to leave. The majority of this nation wants nothing to do with God. Nothing to do with God. And you know what? I'm serious. Regardless of the voter fraud, which we know now, I mean, it's rampant. And it's going to be exposed because they went overboard. They went too far with the voter fraud. I mean, you can't have 30,000 people show up at every Trump rally and between 10 and 12 people showing up at every Biden rally and expect that not to be an example of what the ballots are going to be. But they overdid it. And I got a feeling in the next few weeks, maybe a month, all this voter fraud is going to get exposed and Trump will come out on top. At least I hope that. But anyway, listen, America's problem is we kicked God out. And all we're looking at is the symptoms instead of the root disease, the root cause. And the root cause is we've asked God to leave our country, and now we're getting exactly what we deserve. That's the way it is. So anyway, listen. I think this election is going to turn out okay. I hope. That's what I'm looking at every night when I watch the news. It just looks like they went overboard on their cheating, and now they're going to get caught. But we'll see. But listen, all these things, they're all symptoms. They're all symptoms of a nation without God. And until people turn to God, it's not going to get any better. And if people do turn to God, if there's a great awakening, God says, if any people who are called by my name will repent and return, I will heal their land. So listen, all is not lost yet in America. All is not lost. We'll see how this goes. And I'll tell you what, people, listen to this. If it doesn't go that way, and Biden and Kamala Harris win, people, we're hosed. We are hosed. Because number one, Biden won't be in office very long. I mean, the guy can barely put two sentences together. He's obviously got dementia. And if they win, I got a feeling Biden will be out within, 3 to 6 months. And then Kamala Harris, one of the greatest communists in our government, will be in charge. And she has said that the very first thing she's going to do is come for our guns and everything else. But anyway, we live in some interesting times. But don't worry about any of this. Don't worry about it. God's in control, and the end times are laid out exactly like they're going to happen. We're not going to do anything to change them. They're laid out. It's going to unfold exactly the way it's going to unfold. And whoever becomes the president of America for the next 4 years, they're going to fit right into that little plan. Anyway, I just want to give you something to think about. Heaven or hell, you choose. Just remember, once you take your last breath, it's a done deal. right down and fly off into the water with your bike. Yep. Yeah, what could go wrong there? We're in mountain lines to see that Asian girl, that little dog. They say, yeah, dinner and dessert too. Well, them little rocks will jack you up. Hello. Motorcycle handles the rocks a whole lot better than my bicycle does. Hello. Hello.